Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video I am going to discuss Charles Dickens biography and his writing style. So किसी भी राइटर के राइटिंग को समझने के लिए उसके राइटिंग स्टाइल को समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है, and that writing style is reflected in the writing, right? So Charles Dickens को हम डिस्कस करेंगे and he is part of your syllabus, and his novel Hard Times you will study in your syllabus as well. So for that purpose we need to understand the writing style of Charles Dickens and how it is reflected in his novel Hard Times. So let's get started by a brief introduction of Charles Dickens. His full name was Charles John Huffam Dickens, right? And he was born on 7 February 1812 on the southern coast of England, and he was an English novelist, writer, social critic, and also considered the most celebrated novelist of Victorian era. Right, he was a Victorian writer and some fictional characters as well. So we'll discuss all of these in his writing style, right? And he is also acknowledged in the end of 20th century. He is also acknowledged him as a literary genius, and this is his biography of his early life and his family life, which is not important, which is not our concern, right? And some points which are necessary to be discussed are that he was 11 years old when he was taken off out of school and put into work with the working class men and boys in the blackening factory. So this is important because his life, this is also reflected in his novel Hard Times, right? Working class problems of working class distinction, right? Factory industrialization effects, evil effects of industrialization as well, right? Experience of lonely hardships of life, right? As the title also indicates, hard times, hardships of life as well. And at in 32 he became a news reporter for newspaper in London, and he also started publishing his sketches, impressions in other magazines as well. So his literary style of Charles Dickens, will see that most influences he was of the picturesque tradition, right? So he portrayed the pictures through his writing, right? So the picture quality of novel, that is known as picturesque tradition in novel writing style and novels of sensibility and melodrama. So his novels are characterized as the novel of sensibilities and melodrama. Melodramatic novels are there, right? Hardship, he portrayed hardship, portray the problems of working class as well. And then in the pictures novel tradition, satire and irony is also found, right? His satire on the Victorian era, right, of English society, and irony are the most important elements. और उसके अलावा his writing style is unique and his manner of writing is poetic, right? Poetic writing style with a lot of satire, humor is also there, right? Some comic effects as well. So humor and comic effects and satire as well. And his stories are episodic, and his literary career started working and writing for a newspaper. As I already told you, he worked as a editor in the newspaper in the London, and he's the master of using the elements of suspense and cliffhanger ending. Suspense is found in his writing to engage the readers, and his work contain idealized characters. Yes, characterization, that is very important, and he just created idealized characters, and these characters are known as Dickinson's characters, right? Which is important, his contribution to novel, right? characterization. He developed ideal characters, right? He show, and for example, in his novel Hard Times, we see the character of Sissy, which is an ideal female character of Victorian age. And then he shows the ugly side of human society, especially the problems caused by industrial revolution. And Dickens creates the character of Oliver, an idealized character that readers choose to love. Oliver in some other novel, but in Hard Times, and then we'll focus on the character of Sissy. That is the perfect idealized character he portrayed. And Dickens' work also contained unbelievable circumstances as well. And Dickens used his method to portray the idea that good is always superior to evil, right? And just a quote or a special line came into my mind, and I just like to share that. In his Hard Times, he write that every life has its roses and thorns, right? So this means that every life has its good times, roses, and thorns refers to the bad times, right? Difficult times as well. So this is most interesting line I still remember from the Hard Times. And then he portrayed good and evil, the conflict between good and evil as well, right? And good will also win. So ultimately the good will wins over the evil. And he is also marked by prolific linguistic creativity, right? He also discusses creativity in his works. And in Hard Times we see the we'll see the difference between rot education system and creativity or the imagination, right? And then he uses satire to criticize the follies mean mistakes or the shortcomings, you can say, of the society, and use of satire and real sense of the foolish and ridiculous side of life. And he is master of various classes of idioms as well, right? And then moreover he finds these resting names to contribute to the development of his motives in the plot and providing an allegorical impetus to the overall meaning of the novel as well. And further, Dickens he also the blend of realism and fantasy as well, right? Fantasy and realism side by side, will see in the novel as well the difference between realistic and the fantasy world. And he also satirized the British aristocratic class. Yes, class distinction is also there, how the elite class they just suppress the working class, right? The workers working in factory, and the dehumanize, right? The elite class dehumanize the working class. And in the Hard Times we saw that the factory owner, Mr. Bounderby, he called his workers only a hands. Calling them hands means a minor part of our body and consider them inferior. So I'll discuss his novel Hard Times as well. So stay connected with my channel. Thank you for watching.